Hiya, evening. All here, hopefully, and you can see and hear and everything like that. It's all good stuff. Again, as always, we're live on YouTube and we're also live on TikTok, just above, so everyone gets a chance to chuck in a question, have a chat, talk crap for an hour. That's what we do best. So hopefully, I've got a brightness controller Jolie here that will stop me dancing around and stuff like that. So fingers crossed that he's whistling at me. Let's get that cable out of the way to start with. Evening TikTokers, evening YouTubers, and evening Facebook. That's bright, that. That's bright. Oh, and it whistles. Oh, what a shite light that is. There we go. Oh, whatever. It's fine. So, good evening, guys. Welcome. So, I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock. That's UK time. And you get to have a chat with a vehicle technician. I work for Volkswagen, if ever you're new here, and anyone that's got a question or stuff like that, chuck it in, either on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, we're everywhere. This is what I do. And to be fair, the response has been fantastic from you guys out there. A lot of questions, a lot of videos, a lot of people wanting to ask things. It's not an issue at all. I'm helping one chap at the minute all the way over in Nevada. So I've been chatting with him. So you can actually get hold of me via Instagram if you do need to chat, and it's well hard on there. Across here, you can talk to me on Instagram. So the Instagram is the VW Mechanic. You'll find me on there. Just drop a message. It'll go into the request folder, but that's not a problem because I check it daily. So it's not an issue. You're not going to get lost and never found. So don't panic. It's all good. So we're here on Sunday night. I've got people down there. So if you get a comment down there, I'll read it out. Same if you get a comment up there, I'll read it out so I can keep everyone sort of together. It just gets me across 4 platforms tonight. And you can all see in here and bits and bobs like that. So I've got a cheeky brew on. It's no special tonight. I went to our works Christmas do last night, put in an absolutely poor performance, and I made it till 6:30, I think. 6:30. And then I can't remember anything, and the wife ended up picking me up. So I didn't actually make the Christmas meal. For me. Evening, Paul. Paul from Valentin Supplies on YouTube. Evening, buddy. Nice to see you here, matey. We're down here, we're up there as well, so we're a bit of everywhere today. So you all, I've had so many messages this week asking where I'm based. I don't know if that's a normal thing or anything like that, but it's coming off the back of some of these videos that I put on TikTok and also on YouTube. So it can't be a bad thing, right? Can't be a bad thing. Evening, Mr. B on YouTube. Hopefully you're all well, matey. Thank you very much for confirming that all the platforms are working and behaving as they should. Hoping it stays that way. But never say never. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, it was horrendous not actually making the Christmas meal itself. So the only free bit, and I didn't make it. So yeah, I have not done well there, guys. I've not done well at all. So today has pretty much been feeling really, really shy for myself. I've had the customary British fry up this morning to try and help things not be as bad. I love fry up this morning. So yeah, ain't got an issue with that at all. And then yeah, it's not really been a lot the rest of the day because Trevor Downey, hello. I've got 2001 VW Golf 4 V6 4MO. When I turn the ignition on, the fuel pump doesn't come on. A couple of issues it could be there, buddy. The way I start a diagnostic process is to check all the very, very basics first. So check that you've got a non-blown fuse, so check your fuses. Have a look on the back seat, check you've had nibblers, any rodents or anything like that, chewing through your wiring, and then start working your way towards the consumer, which is obviously the fuel pump itself. I presume by that it's not starting either. I've had a lot of fuel pump related questions recently as well. Always seems to be on the Mark 3s and 4s. Oh, all good fun. Oh, Mikey B, that sucks. Mikey's still suffering and off work and still not driving. That's shite, mate. It really is. And it's not good circumstances either, really, is it? I can only try and cheer you up on here, buddy. That's all I can do. I can talk shit and hope for the best. Just a normal coffee tonight, guys, if you can see there. Because I feel and sound absolutely awful. And it's my own fault. So, there you go. We've had a couple of sneaky peek pictures of the Volkswagen ID Buzz this weekend as well. I'm not allowed to really release them yet. They were sent to me on good authority, good faith. So the ID Buzz is hitting dealerships very, very, very soon. So you're going to see quite a few of them. And they look cool. The interiors look all right as well. So, hello, Will. Got a VW Polo 9N. Sound motor, mate. Love it. Do they come with a button key or one you have to put in the door? Usually, on a vehicle that age, it's dependent on spec, but usually it's just a key in the door, buddy. But I have known some of the upper spec ones do come with a central locking. It's not something... I mean, you can fit it. You can retrofit it. If you find a breaker or anything like that, just rob all the stuff off it and move it over. Yeah, that can be done. A little bit of coding and pokery jiggery, but yeah, it can be done. Yes, Paul, I know your pain, do you, mate? We're both too old for this. Starts when I wire it directly and all the fuses are okay. So yeah, there's an issue there. Something is not telling it to activate. So whether that's the control module for the fuel pump itself or something in between that's not telling it to talk to itself. I know the noise you mean. It makes like a scraping or a sucking noise when it primes the fuel when you turn the ignition on. Yeah, most Mark IVs, particularly diesels, tend to do that. So yeah, it sounds like something's not talking to something else. So it's a case of having to sort of narrow it down a little bit as to the system. So what I can do is I can have a look at the system when I get back to work and see if there's any pointers I can get there. So chuck us a message on the Instagram, buddy, and I'll see what I can solve for you. See if I can give you some pointers in the right direction. I'll always try and help where I can. Sometimes quite hard to diagnose things, obviously being on the other end of an internet screen, if you like. So yeah, I'll always try, mate. We're cooking on gas here, kids. There's comments coming in. Love it. Feel free to just chuck your comments in. No problems at all. Yes. Smash the like button as well, guys. We are... I am struggling with old age syndrome and drinking too much of an evening. We went to boxing last night as part of... It's like a little bit before the Christmas do. There's a boxing going on around where I live. One of the people I work with was actually boxing for charity in it. And again, another poor form, another bit of a shit show. I didn't actually get to see him box. I didn't get to see him box. I'm pretty gutted about that. But as it happens, he got sparked out anyway. So maybe not a bad thing because I'm not great with not giving him shit when I get to work tomorrow. So hold that. Yes. My car has misfire. I can't read the name out or I'll get barred. I rubbish. I can't swear. Well, I can swear. My car is a misfire. Codes are fuel trim, map sensor, MAF sensor, random engine misfire. Any ideas? You've got it all, buddy, there. You've got them all. As a full house is what we call it. So what I read from that is you've got a sensor reading from another sensor from the misfire. So the way I see that is you've got a map or MAF sensor that's having a bit of an issue. You've got a misfire that's causing fuel trim codes. When a misfire appears, it will try and lean off the cylinder. It's either banging too much fuel in. The O2 sensors are reading too much crap, and they're all talking to each other. The easiest way to put it, they're all talking to each other. So what you need to get from that is get rid of the misfire, because the map sensor wouldn't particularly... It may do, But that to me looks like there's a bit of an air leak, particularly if map and MAF sensor are coming up. What engine is it, buddy? What engine is it? Evening, Mr. Codlin. How the devil are we? Nice to see you here again. I love getting emails through when you're trying to do something. They all just appear on the screen. Ah, dear. So the aim of the game, really, the priority on this live is to give advice. A lot of stuff in the mechanic world you would have to physically see, physically test. I can only point in the right direction, obviously, without physically being at the car. If I've got experience in a particular problem and I know full well what you're experiencing, of course I'll let you know. But a lot of things will take a diagnostic process to get to the bottom of your issue. So we can only, you're quite limited, but I can always point you in the right direction. So we do our best. We do our best. But again, a lot of things will cause other things to spaz out. You'll find that one thing's fell over, but it's not actually the thing that's faulting. It's something else telling it. Honestly, cars are a little bit crazy, and everything's attached. Everything's linked. Everything's wired up together. There's a lot of control modules on a fairly modern car. Anyway, wooden air leak after the throttle causing misfire. Yep, certainly would. Certainly would. So any air leak after the MAF sensor, so the mass airflow sensor, any air leak after that is what they call unmetered air. So the MAF's obviously reading what's coming through the air filter and past the MAF, which is a hot wire sensor. And anything outside of that, it won't be able to read the fuel. It won't. So it'll think it'll know there's air in there that's not meant to be in there. So it's going to cause issues. It'll probably run really lean. And then it'll try and run rich to counteract that. You'll probably get some nasty fumes. You'll get some horrible smells. And it will just generally make your car run like shit. On the YouTube channel, the VW Mechanic, you'll see that I have done a petrol. It was a 1.5 TSI. And that had a bit broken off the inlet manifold, which is obviously way past the mass airflow sensor, which was causing these issues. It was causing it to rev high, sound like a sack of shit, and obviously you pull back on all the throttle and everything like that. It was putting it in proper limp mode. So there is a video on there. Steve, I'm suffering in pain. Did the Donny 10K this morning. Self-inflicted, so don't want sympathy. Oh, mate, my hangover is self-inflicted, but I do want sympathy. Lots of sympathy. It's not a bad thing, though. Proud of you, mate. What was your time? What was your time in the Donny 10K? I've run a 10K, believe it or not. I can't remember what my time was. It was over an hour, as you can imagine. If any of you were here last week, you'll obviously see that this bad boy has gone. It was doing me head in. It was itching. It was annoying. Everything was getting stuck in it. Honestly, there was a couple of incidents last couple of weeks where I've been working on a car. Something sooty has dropped off it, and it's just sat in my mustache in a very awkward place. So if you know, you know. And yeah, it's kind of got to the stage where it just had to come off. It just had to go. 1 hour, 3 minutes, Steve. Well, that, mate, I'm well proud of you. Well done, buddy. I know the weather's not been fantastic, and I bet it was freezing and all. But yeah, proud of you, bud. 1 hour, 3 minutes is absolutely spot on, mate. That's the 10K in Doncaster. If any of you guys have ran a 10K, chuck your times in. I'm always interested to see who's done what, where, and when. If you can't tell by the accent, most of you can't. I've got a bit of a weird accent, really. I'm from the east of England, so all down that side is where I'm from. So I do get a lot of where are you based and stuff like that. And it seems like most people that speak to me are based down London way or abroad, which is not a bad thing. It just makes trying to help quite hard. But like I say, I'll talk anyone through a problem, and I will always advise as best I can. Just to make sure I understand, English isn't my first language. So if air comes in after the MAF sensor, the engine will adjust the amount of fuel Yes, that is absolutely correct. It will make necessary adjustments to the air that it doesn't know that's there. So it will cause all sorts of issues. So that air leak, if you have an air leak, needs to be rectified for the fuel trim to return back to normal and to stop the map sensor being upset and obviously stop the mass airflow sensor being upset. So if you have an air leak, find the air leak, fix the air leak, and you will find that most of them faults, if not all of them faults, will go. Obviously, you may need a computer to reset the light and get rid of them and then just monitor it from there. But from what I'm reading, it seems like you've got an air leak. Good evening, all. Merry Robmas and all that. Merry Christmas. It's nearly there, you know, guys. It's is it December? December next week. Oh shit! It is December next week, guys. That can only mean one thing. It's getting expensive. Rob's air leak video is on that link I've posted. So thank you, Mike. Mike has posted the link to that video of an air leak. That is just to give you a rough sort of guidance as to what you would expect in an engine leak, or an air leak, sorry, on an engine, on a petrol in particular. Could it be an EGR valve stuck open? If your EGR valve was stuck open, buddy, your car wouldn't run. It would really, really struggle to run, if at all. It wouldn't run. Hey up, Kings. How are we doing? Thank you very much for sharing the likes, sharing the love, all that jazz. I literally just get to talk to you guys of a Sunday night, and yeah, we talk cars, talk fixing them, talk cleaning them, anything you like. If I do speak a little bit quick or a little bit mumbly, let me know. I do tend to mumble quite a bit, and sometimes when I'm tired, I've got a bit of an accent as well. So yeah, I'm sound, buddy. How about you? Hello, Lincoln Melts. Ashley, you all right, mate? Fried water. Yes, the Tash has gone. The Tash has gone. Any of you guys that did see me last week or whatever, you will know I had a crazy Movember mustache. It got to the point where it was itching and stuff was getting stuck in it. So it had to come off, guys. So I'm sorry. I didn't do the full month, but I did just about. It only come off yesterday. So yeah, I didn't do too bad. Didn't do too bad at all. Kenny Davidson. Hi, Rob. Can you explain the similarity or differences when selecting sport mode on the car settings against pulling the gear lever back on DSG to sport mode? Yeah, of course I can, buddy. So the DSG one would put your gearbox into sport mode. So the sport mode you'll probably find will hold on to the gears a lot longer, and you'll be able to get that little bit more performance out of it. If you was to put the car in sports mode physically on the button, it changes all sorts of things. So it will stiffen up your steering. It will change your air conditioning to a sport mode. So maybe pull back on the aircon so all your power's in the engine. And it will also do your gearbox as well. So in sport mode, on your gear selector will be gearbox only. Sport mode on your car, physically on the button, will be steering and air conditioning as well. If you go onto your settings, onto where it says you can do an individual, click on individual, and it'll tell you what it adjusts, so you can set your own. So that's pretty much what sport mode adjusts. So it'll show it on your screen, if that makes sense. Any help, please? Mark 4 Golf GT TDI PD130, banging engine, love it. Charge pressure, positive deviation. Oh God, here we go. Now you're testing me. Have you got any air leaks? Check the diaphragm for the turbo actuator. Sometimes they split, particularly on a car of that age and on that engine. So you'd need a MITI-vac, test the vacuum on the actuator itself. Start doing little things like that. But what you could do, really, to start with, just smoke the inlet system. Make sure there's no apparent air leaks. And then start going for turbo, sort of MITI-vac in the actuator. See if that diaphragm's holding the vacuum or it's letting go too early. Anything like that. And go from there. But what a banging engine, a PD130. Absolute bomb-proof. All I'll say to you guys out there, if you do put fault codes like Jack Jones here, if I'm not sure on the live, because obviously there's millions of fault codes, just message me on Instagram, same name, the VW Mechanic, and I can have a little bit more of a chat with you about it. So don't think I'm just chucking you away, because I'm not. There's always that after sort of the event help, so don't panic. I can always help out as best I can. More than welcome. Fried water. Have you had to replace a yaw sensor before? Yeah, we have, buddy. What a nightmare that was. That was on a Mark IV Beetle that was struggling with ABS and traction control. The yaw sensor had gone, so it's basically like a G-force, like a motion sensor that sits near the airbag control unit, right in the middle of the dash. That was a yaw sensor, and you have to calibrate on the modern stuff when you do front assist and stuff like that. You have to calibrate and make sure that's correct as well, otherwise it won't work. There's millions and millions and millions of sensors on a car, guys. And if it's a VW, 9 times out of 10, you've probably replaced them all. There's some common ones that do crop up on a VW. So, definitely. Your sensor's not a very common one. You don't very often see it nowadays because it's normally incorporated into something else. Thank you, Jack Jones. Thank you. Only 95 on the clock. Oh man, that's not even bedded in for a PD yet. You anywhere near Nottinghamshire? I'm not far away, buddy. I'm not far away. Just chuck us a message on Instagram, mate. Do I cover Bradford? Nah, I don't really do repairs outside of work. I'll give the advice and all that, no problem. But I try and stick to what I do as a day job, which is obviously a VW mechanic, and then I do the content creation when I'm not at work. So I get to do all the videos. If you have a look on the YouTube channel, VW Mechanic, you'll see all these fantastic bits and bobs that I've done just to show you guys what sort of goes on when you've like a cam belt replace or wheel bearings have shit themselves, that kind of thing. Keep getting an orange light coming on my dash. Looks like a fuel pump. Yeah, put some fuel in it, buddy. Put some fuel in it. That's Paul with his focus. Evening, Jimmy Miller. How the devil are you? Nice to see you here, buddy. As I've said, for you guys that are just popping in now, I'm live on YouTube and Facebook just down here for TikTok, and then I'm live on TikTok just above you for YouTube and Facebook. So you can pretty much get me anywhere this evening. It's right good. Feel free to share the lives and follow and like. It feeds the algorithm. So basically, the more likes and stuff it gets, the more that they'll pass them about. So I can help more people. That's the idea. User that one. If it starts with 387552. Rear wiper keeps getting stuck on my Golf. Should I replace the wiper motor? As long as all the wiring checks out, buddy, you've got your lives and earths and your switch is all right. There's no random fault codes for your switch falling over, which I have replaced them on that age of vehicle before. It could well be the motor, yeah. What they tend to do is the screen wash is plumbed in through them. They tend to leak internally and shit themselves. So, yeah. Jack Jones, I don't have Instagram, but I've sent you a PM on here. I'll have a look for you, matey, but your name's pretty obvious. So I'll have a look just after, and we'll have a little chat, mate. Fried water, are you able to talk about staff car scheme? Talk about who you like, mate. I can always say if there's an issue. It's not a problem. No problem at all. Always try and help. But they're really easy to change. There's just 4 T25s holding the back cover on of your engine, of your boot, and then it's just 3 13 mils nuts, and then it just pops out. Shove the new one in, do it all up. Jobs are good. No coding, no fault codes to clear, anything like that. It should work straight away. Nice and warm out here. Love it. How are you guys getting on with the World Cup and that? It's a weird one, isn't it? Absolutely weird one. The big teams are getting hammered and the little teams are doing their hammering. It's great. It's great. Apart from Croatia earlier. Didn't want them to win. Mr. B. Rob, have you got any detailing stuff coming up recall something arriving in the post. Also, give the detailing wizard a shout out on his ticker. Oh yeah, the ticker. I'm terrible. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I have, but I'm going to keep that until it comes out. I have. Let's pop the ticker along the bottom. So if any of you guys are in for your car cleaning or open off like that, on the YouTube and Facebook, I've popped a ticker along the bottom. You will get 10% off your order. If you go to valetandsupplies.online, you go and see Mr. Paul Watson. You'll see him in the TikTok as well. Go and visit him, get 10% off. Why not? Absolute genius that he is. Rear view mirror on a Golf has fallen off. Can I replace a 2014 Mark 7 with a 7.5? I believe they're the same. The only problem is if it's got front assist, bits and bobs like that, and the previous one hasn't, you're going to come into issues. But if it is just a mirror change, there shouldn't be a problem. But again, if it has got the sensors in there, just make sure that they are all compatible with your car. If you are changing sensors over, there's a possibility that a new sensor will need coded in. So not everything's plug and play. I wish it was, but not everything's plug and play. Bosh, keep it going, guys. I've still got plenty of brew left. We're only halfway through. Oh, mate, they are. They're an absolute nightmare to clip on. So the rear view mirrors on a Mark 4, Mark 5, Mark 6, Mark 7, Mark 8 are all a pain in the arse. Yeah. It's like a slide. They slide on and lock into place on the thing that's actually part of the windscreen. That's the idea behind it. They're not always that good, and they're not always like you find straightforward. Paul from Valetant Supplies has just made me aware that there is a 40% off on his website that ends tonight, guys. So if any of you lot are looking for cleaning stuff, valetandsupplies.online, you'll get 40% off of certain things. So have a look, definitely. If that's what you're into, definitely. Is your car part of a work scheme? No, it's not. My car is my own. The work scheme is, to a point, it's worth it, but you can only do 6 or 12 months. It's quite expensive, and the car's never yours. I suppose you could say that for PCP, really, couldn't you? But for me, it's not worth it, because you're still having to insure the car, you're still having to do everything else. The only thing you don't do is obviously service and maintenance work on it. But of a car that new, should you really have to maintain anything outside of the warranty? Probably not. Unless you kill a tyre, which you would on any car. You'd have to replace it yourself. So, no, I'm going to say, for me, the staff scheme is not worth it. Yes, take it to a garage instead of breaking the windscreen. I'll be honest with you, buddy. I have broke a windscreen before, getting really, really stressed with the rear view mirror. And, the windscreen people made it look really easy. Wow, what can we say? Why would there be water in the rear floor? Is it a Golf Mark 7 by any chance? Just let me know. Hey, Els Auto Care, Mr. Welsh Stallion himself. Long time no chat. Yeah, I'm always here though, matey. I'm always here. It's a Mark 7, Mark 7.5 Golf. They're all the same. Have a look. Just open your back doors and have a look, see if you can see remnants of water coming from the bottom of your door card. You'll see it. It doesn't have to be raining. You'll see marks where it has been. You might even see wet from sort of recently. And you'll see it sort of sat on the step and in the rubber seal of your door, both back doors or one back door if you're only experiencing it on one side. Have a look. Let me know. I might have an answer for you. Hello, bro. Just a quick question. I own a VW City Golf 1.6 AFX. Just want to find out it's coming. Radiator pipe gets pressured. Yep. I've got a broken car. How do I fix it? Well, depending on where you are in the world, you take it to an experienced mechanic. If you're in Wales, it'll be Els Auto Care. If you're in this part of England, it will be me. How pressured does your radiator pipe get, buddy? Rear passenger side. So open your rear passenger door. Just have a look at the bottom of your door cards. See if there's any remnants of water. Check that. Check that. The top radiator pipe. So your radiator pipes will get hard, as the vehicle, if the vehicle is warm, because the coolant system is under pressure. Obviously, they shouldn't be bulging. They shouldn't be like ridiculous, but they will tend to pressurize up. Yeah. Has it had any work done recently, which is why you're sort of concerned, or is it just a thing? But yeah, they will pressurize up. So, but if you take, I'm not telling you to do this, by the way, but if you take your radiator cap off after the car's warmed up, you'll hear it hiss. If you hold on to a radiator pipe as best you can, obviously you're going to be hot, be careful, and take that header tank cap off, you'll feel that the pressure from the pipes will go. It'll just disappear, and that hissing from the header tank will be that pressure. User, I think we should use a 387. What's your name? Give us a name. It's easier. I think we should pay you for answering our question. Oh, mate, I just enjoy doing it. I just enjoy helping people, to be fair. After some journeys, and when I turn the car off, the cooling fan comes off for a while. Is it a diesel? Is it a diesel? No problem, Calvin. No problem at all. Mike. Rob, I'll tell you something outside the live about a cracking car work scheme my mate has. Yeah, do it. I'm all for learning. Some things can't obviously be said on the internet. We have to adhere to rules and regs and things like that. If it's a diesel, then it's more than likely doing a DPF regeneration. So what you'll find is when it's doing a passive regeneration, the revs will sit just over 1,000 RPM at idle. You'll hear your fans come on, and you may smell a burning smell. It's a little bit like rubber, like burning rubber. If you are experiencing all them and turning your engine off and your fans are still running just for a little bit, it's DPF regeneration. Don't panic. Your fans running, if it's a DPF regen, will not kill your battery, as they have battery monitoring, which will cut the fans off if your battery hits a certain level. So don't panic. If it is doing a regen, it ain't going to kill your battery. So don't worry. Keep the questions coming, guys. Keep the live, sharing the love. It's brilliant. I love sitting here answering your questions, and I will always try and help as best I can. What if it's petrol? Which bit are we answering? The cooling fan. If it's cooling fans staying on and it's petrol, you've more than likely got issues with potentially coolant temp. Potentially the control module for the fan may have shit itself, and it's not quite sure whether it should be on or not. So it will come on. I have a Mark 714 red. Should I warm the car before driving? I'm not going to say sit there and warm it up, because it's a bit old school, that is, for carbs. And you remember the old manual choke and bits and bobs like that? You don't have to sit there and warm the car up, but don't nail it from cold, because that's where the premature engine wear comes from. Definitely just sort of tootle along until your gauge starts moving a bit, and then do what you need to do. But it's all about looking after your car. No one, hold on. If you were getting out of bed, you don't want to be balls out straight away, do you? You want to sort of take your time getting out of bed in the morning, sort of chill out a little bit. Yeah, so it's basically like a car. Basically like a car. Just chill out until it's warmed up. Spot on. Let's have a look. Perhaps glow plug light flashing on a VW Passat 2016. It could be anything, buddy. You'd have to get a fault code red and then go from there, matey. My Seat 1.6 TDI engine glow plug light keeps flashing when I turn it off. Yeah, that sounds to me like you'll have a P0403 fault code in it. That's quite common for that, or for making them symptoms. If it's P0403 or 402, then it's potentially an EGR fault, buddy. Came on when driving about 2,000 RPM. Now, obviously, without running a fault code, I'm speculating. But I do see them on the 1.6 TDI. It could be injectors. It could be EGR. There's lots of ways. So get a fault code red. And if you want to, go onto Instagram. If you've got Instagram, send us a message. And I can always try and help out. The DQ200 box, the little box. Yeah, it's an all right box, isn't it? All right DSG box for the little powered ones. Yeah, I think it's great. Don't very often see them go wrong. I very much like the 380 at the minute, the DQ380. It's a great box, plenty of power. changes gears beautifully. It's lovely. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the DQ200. It's great. No problem, Paps. It's all good, mate. It's Hassan. Still need to message you about the sunroof and article. Yeah, cool, mate. No problem. Get me on Instagram. I think you have. A lot of people have got me on Instagram, to be fair. I've got loads of messages this week's Ace. But yeah, I do need to do a video. I remember saying it now. I need to do a video. And yeah, just remind me, buddy. I'll get one filmed. I'll do it as per the manual, so you guys know exactly what you're doing. And that goes for any Volkswagen sunroof service. I did have one on Saturday coming to work. It was a Tiguan, and every time it rained, water was pissing in through the sun visor, driver's side sun visor. Opened up the sunroof, and it's got two drains at the front. They're angled, so the water will drain down the car. Yeah, these were block solid. So effectively what it was doing was pulling up and then just coming over. So yeah, all good fun sunroofs, aren't they? Currently working on a SAT 16 plate, done EGR trap assembly, still throwing the same fault. Which EGR did you do? Because these them 16 plates with the newer style engine have got a low pressure and a high pressure EGR. So was it a cooler or was it just a little motor? Rocking the brew. When's the Christmas special? I need ideas, guys. If you want to see a Christmas special video, I need ideas. So I'm open to anything, obviously. Let's have a look. How effective do you think the injector cleaners are, for example, from your own car parts? If I'm being brutally honest, if you're using half decent quality fuel, sorry, let me start again. If you're using good quality fuel, the fuel has most of the cleaning agents in it that you need to obviously get you sorted. If you do need to use an injector cleaner, go for a decent brand like Fortron, Red X, things like that. If you're going for cheap and cheerful, you'll probably find that most of it's watered down just to extend it a little bit. So yeah, if you're going cheap, unfortunately, buy cheap, buy twice. It's a saying I've always been taught. So if you love your car, give it the best. It was complete cooler. Comes up with EGR flow insufficient. So there's a blockage somewhere, buddy, whether it's one of the pipes. Cooler itself, obviously you've replaced that. What engine's in it, bud? What engine's in it? Is it the old school TDI? Because I've had lots of these with the pipe on the top blocking up. If it's been that bad, the top EGR pipe blocks up. And again, that'll bring up an insufficient flow. Yes, Paul. My phone keeps coming up saying, go live. I love it. So keep banging the like button, guys. Keep sharing the live. I love talking to you all. I love helping where I can, how I can. It's fantastic to see and hear that I'm reaching people far and wide, guys. I'm hitting America quite well. Australia's doing all right. I'm even getting like New Zealand and Africa, which is insane. I didn't know that was a thing. But it is. 1.6 TDI Euro 6, the one with the DPF cat assembly. It's huge. Yeah, they're all huge, mate. They don't get smaller. I think I know which one you mean. I would strip back the pipes because they're easy to get off them if it's what I'm thinking about. Take the pipes out and have a look. You'll more than likely find one of them pipes is rammed full and it's blocking that flow of EGR gases. If you replace the cooler, mate, there's not a great deal expensive left to replace. I took a cooler apart the other day. I did one on an 11 plate Passat. Did the EGR cooler on that because that was rammed. And I took it apart for a laugh. And someone's had the cooler apart before, whether it's been replaced or whatever. And where you take the actual potentiometer off it and it literally flows through, they tried to cut out all the honeycomb stuff, but it just blocked up easier. Winner, chicken dinner. I don't know why. Yeah, don't do that. If you're trying to modify things, do it properly. Mike on YouTube, wind system cleaner found worked great when I had issues with his 2010 Octavia. I remember that happening. It was a little bit fuzzy, wasn't it? It was a bit poor on pickup. So yeah, try good names. Like I say, good names. Winds is a good name. Red X and Fortron, bits and bobs like that. And obviously use half decent quality fuel. If anything, use a bit of V power. Every so often, just run a bit of V power through it. It's nice fresh fuel. They love it. They love it. HUD's all messed up. Check that out, right? That's a snap-on hoodie. You can just see there, snap-on. And before I think I washed it once. No dryer, nothing like that, and all the letters fell off. Great, isn't it? Yes, Paul, I have seen the price of V-Power fuel, and I've seen the price of normal fuel, and they ain't that far apart. But yeah, unfortunately, some you just have to bite the bullet because putting a couple of litres of expensive fuel in is cheaper than buying new injectors and EGR valves. Lesser of two evils. Hey up, Faz. You all right, buddy? And Mike's a little testimony here as well on YouTube. Mike says, the wind system cleaner I found worked great when I had issues. I've already read that one out. Hold on. There's another one. Damn mouse. Been on Tesco's fuel, not an issue. Every few tanks, bottle of Winds. There you go. So that's cheaper than V-Power. So that's another way round you can go. So every few tanks, chuck a bottle of Winds in. Job's a carrot. What issue have you got with your Mark 6, Faz? 185 a litre I pay today for normal fuel. It's about right, mate. It's not that much different here. Wales have got it nice at the minute. I've heard that start down at 170 odd. So fingers crossed it's going to happen across the world. Who knows? Fuel's expensive. Food's expensive. We'll not get into that tonight. Everyone's struggling. So if I can help you guys do something for note or something for a lot cheaper by doing one of my videos or having a chat with you on a Sunday night, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Every little helps. I've had a few people that have done the DSG repair. So if it's coming up with error leaving P, rather than replace the full DSG selector unit at thousands of pounds, there is a fix for that. It's a genuine fix as well. I've done a couple of videos. It's on TikTok and YouTube. That's going to save you a couple of quid because I believe the part's less than 50 quid and you can do it yourself. I've got a VW Passat 2 litre TDI. When on cold start, it smokes and shakes a little bit. That could be worn injectors. It could be anything. What's the service history like? I would get your service history up to scratch. And like Mike says on YouTube, it might not be a bad thing chucking a Winds injector cleaner through. See if there's anything blocked or crappy in there. Faz, Mark 6 GT TDI clutch pedal on specs gone up. Sits about an inch lower than the resting point in the mornings. I can hear a spring noise. That could be the usual master cylinder or slave cylinder falling apart. It could be the release bearing itself starting to shit itself. Then they're quite common. I'm not going to say common's a bit shit in here. I've seen it before when the slave and master start to go. The clutch pedal will sit lower and lower, and sometimes when you're changing gear, the clutch pedal will hit the floor, like it's lost all pressure. Now that's that obviously needs a little bit of delving into to find out what that is. 94k is not a lot. Yes, it's Hassan. It's Hassan. Yeah, that pipe, and there is another one that goes from the cooler to just under at the bottom of the head, around the back. That pipe does block up as well. But definitely the one that goes around the front, that's normally the quick way to tell you've got an EGR valve stuck open is if you get a Coke can and undo that pipe, slide the Coke can in there, and then do it back up again, and it will start. That's a quick test to see there's an EGR issue on that engine in particular. I mean, it's not out of the realms of needing a new clutch because if you're doing your slave, it means your box is out. if you're doing your master cylinder, and it does turn out to be the slave as well, then you might as well do it all in a oneer. It's sorted then, but obviously it depends. If your clutch has been replaced recently, or it's quite new itself, it's not done many miles, then obviously you be the judge. You be the judge. It's easier to do it all in a oneer if the box is out. But what things to look out for on an 09 2-litre TSI Scirocco? Is it the 1.8 TSI, buddy, or is it 2-litre? It's Hassan. I'll give it a go tomorrow. Yeah, like I say, get me on Instagram if you've got any problems, and I can always have a chat with you. So not everything's concrete on this live. I give advice. Sometimes some people need a little bit more. It's not a problem. I'm in Wales, and most places are £1.65. That is awesome for you guys in Wales. Bosh, happy days, love it. Oh, that can keep coming down, can't it? Let's be honest. Diesel around Cardiff is a 180. See, you're in Wales as well, mate. You need to be off out into the sticks and getting this 165 stuff. 2-litre 200 horse. Oh, so it's 2-litre TSI, the old school one. I love it. Yeah, so what you need to do, buddy, is check the oil level, make sure it's bang on. It's not fuck all in it. Take the oil cap off and make sure there's no shit around the oil cap. Start it up from cold and get you sent straight round to the exhaust. See if it's going to start blowing any blue shit out. If it is, it's an issue. Yeah, it's an issue. So I would walk away if it's got smoke. Or a shit start up. Chain rattle again, just walk away if it's got chain rattle. Make sure it's got cracking service history or half decent. Obviously, you can judge whatever you need on that one. Thank you for the follow, Faz. Yeah, so check the oil level, check blue smoke. I would take the vehicle for a road test, of course, and get some good revs into it. So don't just tootle around at 2,000. Get it right round. And make sure that it's hitting the rev range nicely. You've got no blips, no misfires, no horrible chain noises. Because, yeah, like I say, them chains, if they've not been looked after, they're not great. And again, the piston rings and bottom end tend to let go a little bit earlier than some cars if they've not been serviced very well. Nice car, though. 09 Scirocco, love it. Go well mapped as well. 165 for petrol, 183 for diesel. So yeah, people are roughly the same, aren't they? Roughly the same prices across the UK. I'm on your side, guys. It's shit. It's expensive. It's expensive, but we don't need to get into politics. We're here to have a good bit of crack. We're here to enjoy yourselves. We'll talk about cars, and they are expensive, but we'll try and get to the knowledge bit of things rather than moaning about how much stuff costs. Because I get it, guys. It's why I run the channel. I started this channel in lockdown because everyone was skint. Everyone had bags of time on their hands. So you could fix your own stuff nicely. And it worked quite well. I know it was a shit circumstance. I get that. But that's why I started this channel. And it's gone from leaps. It's gone from strength to strength. It's really, really good. It's great talking to you guys out there. I've never met you, but I've absolutely no problem talking to you guys. No problem chucking a cheeky message or two to try and get you to the problem quicker. Bought my wife a 1-litre Golf, Mark 7.5 Auto. They're any good. Yeah, man. Love it. Great engine. Great engine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them little 1-litre turbos. Just make sure that every so often you get that turbo operating nicely, because there is a common issue on them with the turbo actuator. The rod seizes because it ain't used very well. So if it is just pootling around, get it down a bypass or two, get that turbo actuated nicely, because they do seize. There's a video of that on, I think there's a video, or there's a picture on Instagram of a seized one. Yeah, I do quite a lot of them. That you don't want. It's not out of the way to repair it. You haven't got to replace the turbo or anything daft like that. But it's an expense in it. You don't need it. Hey up, Baz. Yes, you Welsh stallion. How the devil are you? So anyone out there who's into the general fixerings, obviously I'm Volkswagen mainly, or VW Group, go and have a look at Baz Meredith, one of them in the chat. Top bloke, does some cracking diag and stuff like that, and he's got a beautiful Welsh accent like Mike. So it's all good. It's all good. Any views on the 2-litre 150 E288? Yeah, man, Cracking. Got one of me Octavia outside. They map up quite nicely as well. Drive beautifully. Not as good as you, buddy. Nah, not having it. Not having it, mate. We are all good at what we do. I'm not having I'm better than you, you're better than me. It's not a thing. We're all cracking at what we do. That's why we help each other, buddy. So you ask me for Volkswagen stuff, I'll ask you for anything other than that because I've not a fucking clue, mate. That's it. It's how it should work, mate. I'm not going to slag you off. You're going to slag me off. We just help each other. That's how YouTube should work, shouldn't it? Fried Water on YouTube. What do you think? Let me pop this on the screen. What do you think of a 2016 MX-5 2-litre? Do you know of any problems? That is a banging car, Mazda MX-5. And yeah, no, I don't know of any problems with the Mazda. Baz, any issues with the 2-litre Mazda MX-5? Where is Baz based? Baz will tell you. He loves it. He loves it. If you watch his channel, you'll work it out very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. He's like a young Tom Jones, but better looking. Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. If you're just joining, happy days. Hello. Coming live from the east of England. There's people from all over the place. It's epic. I love it. A lot of Wales. It's great. I do go to Wales sometimes as well, so I'd love to meet up with you guys. Obviously, when the weather gets a bit better, we'll have to do some meets and bits and bobs like that, so I can actually talk to you face to face. That'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Rather than sitting behind a screen in the cold crap. Spain versus Germany is a boring game. Do you know what? If it's out like the England game the other night, mate, I totally agree. I was going to watch the Spain-Germany, but obviously, being a Sunday, I would much rather spend my time talking to you guys than watching the shit show of the World Cup that it is at the minute. Because it's shit. It's weird. I don't know what it is. Crap. Have a good one, Mikey. Love you lots, mate. And I'll see you in the PM. In the private messages. Love it. Love it. Love it. Mike is the guru behind the channel. He does the technical, kicks my arse, essentially. So great bloke. Love him to bits. Paul, you have met me. I have physically been to see you twice now. Been to your shop, been to your unit, been in your car. Mate, I love it. I love it. It was a cracking time, both times. I enjoy it thoroughly. I do go up or down to Milton Keynes and back every so often. So any of you guys down Milton Keynes, I'm all for a beer when I'm down there. I do Volkswagen training courses down in Milton Keynes. So again, if you're down there, guys, cheeky beer. We'll have a chat. Love it. I'm not one of these YouTubers or content creators that you can never get hold of, that you can't message or about. They're annoying, aren't they? You get watching the content, you send them a message just to say, yeah, I think your content's good. They never reply, do they? You don't get no. I hate that. It's not for me. So I speak to all. Yeah, totally, Mikey. We'll have to do a meet. Honestly, we'll do a meet, guys. I'll get a vibe from where everyone's from. Obviously, it's going to be in the UK. So I'll get a vibe and we'll do something. Yeah, we'll do a meet. We'll do a meet and greet. Bring your car. Make it fun. Yes, Paul, we went out on a romantic lunch. We did. We went to the pub, didn't we, mate? Had a lovely lunch. It was nice. It was really nice. So yeah, I'm just a human. I'm not one of these people that you can't speak to or go out for a burger with or a pint. I'm off the beer for a bit though after last night's shenanigans, so I'm still not right today. Poor performance by Rob. Poor performance. If any of you weren't here when I said about what happened earlier, it was bear with. There we go. Sorry, I just had to block someone. Spamming, whatever. Yeah, so what happened last night was the works Christmas do, and I finished work at 12:30 yesterday morning, and we went straight on the beer. We had a boxing thing before the meal, so we was watching the boxing, And yeah, I may have drank too many sherbets, and I didn't actually make the meal. Didn't make the meal. Had to go home. That's bad, isn't it? Happy days, right. What are your thoughts on VW's EV vehicles? Thank you in advance for your opinion. Absolutely epic. Love the question. Volkswagen, the VW EV, yeah, Volkswagen EV vehicles. It depends. It depends. If you're after range, then it's probably not for you. The hybrids aren't bad. The hybrids aren't bad at all. It's a 1.4, you're getting a Passat, things like that. But if you're after range, they're okay. They do over 200 miles to a charge. But I like them. I like them. They're a good car. You don't very often see them go wrong. That's not a bad thing, is it? You don't often see them go wrong. I'm still being spammed by this person, even though he's blocked for some reason. So I like VW's EV vehicles. I do like Skoda's EV vehicles. They're great as well. I'm off the cider for a bit. The wife was like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. You had a similar weekend to I did." Where was your invite? It was one of the lads that I work with who doing this private thing. Not private thing. What am I about? It was boxing for charity, and he got some tickets to go. Really, how is this still spamming me? That's impressive. Anyone help me out in the comments on YouTube as to what that is? Yeah, he's got multiple profiles. I thought so. I've no idea what that is, but anyway. Fingers crossed, it's gone. It's all good. No, it's not. Oh dear. Trolls, great, aren't they? I can't get rid of him, guys. I don't know what's going on there. No idea what's going on there. Yeah, so we'll carry on. We'll carry on. Do I own a VW? I own a Skoda, so I guess you could call it a VW. It is a VW. The Golf R is a great car. The Golf R is a very, very good car. It is obviously 300 horsepower, four-wheel drive, cracking 2-litre TSI engine. Great car. The GTI as well. It's got the same engine, just without the four-wheel drive. So, yeah, all round, fantastic car. So, yeah, I love the Golf R. I do. I think the Golf R is great. What car do you own? I'm hoping we can, Paul, because I've just blocked him about 12 times and it just keeps coming up. So I'm not sure, unless Mike can do something on that one. But that's not sure. Is the Arteon better than the Golf R? No. The Arteon's good for not good for speed. Sorry, good for size. It's a great car, but the Golf R tips it for me. I do like the Arteon though. It's a very good looking car. Oh, this is painful. If you're on YouTube, I do apologise, guys. We're not getting around that for some reason. I've got an 09 WRX sedan on its fourth motor, making 600 horsepower, 32 pounds of boost. Jesus, that is an absolute monster. What a car. What a car. 32 pounds of boost as well. Yes, for me, the T-Roc is better than the ID3. Looks and performance, combustion engines has got it for me, to be fair. The ID3s are quirky cars. They're good. Obviously fully electric. They've got all the quirky bits and bobs in before. Sorry. Yeah, it's got all the up-to-date gadgetry in it. But yeah, for me, the combustion engine. So it will be a combustion engine, and it's great. Obviously, you can't get the ID3 with a combustion engine in it. Should have bought a house first. I feel you, buddy. I feel you. I absolutely feel you. I think we all should. ID3. Does a recall still take up to 8 hours yet? Yeah. And that recall crosses to the ID4 and 5 as well. And the Golf 8. Golf 8's got quite a chunky recall on it as well. Anything detailing coming up? There is. I have a snow foam from MJJC that I want to use. I was going to do it this weekend, but nothing's gone right for me this weekend. So out in the cold wasn't for me today. So there will be a review on the MJJC snow foam coming soon. No problem, George. Follow me if you haven't, mate, and we'll keep in contact. I love chatting to people. What's a good petrol car to buy for about £1,000 just for the winter? It depends what you're after, where you live, how you drive it, what sort of space you want. There's a lot of variables there as to, I don't know, what would be a better fit for you. Yes, you have, Paul. I saw your post earlier that it's coming, so we've both got the same phone, which was good. It's a good phone. What about a Ford Puma ST line? I see what you're doing there. Yeah, I'll do. The newer Fords are good. Apart from the EcoBoost engine, that's not fantastic. Lots of bad things about that. Ford Puma's good looking car, very, very good looking car. I've never driven one. I'd love to drive one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Got a car for sale about £1,000. What is it, Paul? What is it? Do passenger cars suffer from additional water pumps? You want about water pump B and C, one for the EGR and one for the inlet. They don't suffer. It's not too common. I've replaced them. What you find sometimes happens is people will they neglect the coolant, so they just keep filling the coolant up with water, diluting it down to crazy amounts of water compared to coolant. And these pumps are only plastic. They're only plastic, and the water freezes and expands inside the pump over cold weather. And once it happens, pump shits itself. So it is all about keeping the quality of your coolant. Bosh. If you have the silica bag in your header tank, I advise get rid of it straight away. That is there to keep the coolant better. Keep the condition of the coolant better for longer. But if anyone knows Volkswagen out there, they are quite well known for splitting and causing other issues. So pop that out and keep on top of your coolant change, just like you would any other car. Yes, so I'm getting a lot of love on YouTube for the EcoBoom engine. Yeah, not great, is it? A 2004 Clio with 72,000 miles. That's not actually horrendous, mate. So it might be worth having a chat with Paul there. See if you're anywhere near. Might not be a bad shout. Definitely not. Right, guys, it's 8 o'clock, so that means my hour for a Sunday is unfortunately up. If anyone's got any extra questions, add the VW Mechanic on Instagram, and you'll be able to message me on there. I do always check all my folders on there, so you won't get missed. So for that, guys, it's been lovely having you all along. Lovely chatting to you all. Thank you very, 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 very much, and I will see you next Sunday right here, TikTok, YouTube, and 7 o'clock English time. So have a cracking week, guys. See you very, very soon. Take care.